I wish you could smell this, guys. We're in the tomato house. Yes, it's a greenhouse structure. We took one of the best pieces of ground on the farm here at the Chef's Garden, and we put a greenhouse over it. We believe tomatoes should be grown in the soil. It's in harmony with nature. But we also can protect them from the hail. We get them a little earlier. We can keep them a little later. Heirloom varieties of tomatoes. The first tomatoes are the small ones. We start with these, I kind of think of them as like a sweet pea. They're small, they're tedious to pick, but the first tomatoes to ripen are the small, tiny little currant tomatoes. You can do a mixed case of currant tomatoes. It's a great way to get started. And they go, a flat of these things goes so far. You can't believe how many tomatoes are in a flat of these little currant tomatoes. And then we have a medium size that are the bumblebee, the pink bumblebee, the purple bumblebee, the sun golds, all of these different varieties, probably 15 or 20 different varieties in a medium-sized tomato. You can get them by the case. Hey, runaway tomato! So we've got the pea size, the currants. We've got the medium size. You can get those in a mix. The toy box. Later in the season, which is now, we're here, it's upon us right now. These larger varieties start to ripen up. They're the epitome of tomato season. It's what summer season is all about. I love the toy box. It's just like the name says. It's like opening up a toy box of fun to play with. Different flavors, different textures. Did I mention flavor? Guys, we grow these in the soil. We select. This isn't our first rodeo. These tomatoes are trying to get away from us. This is the varieties that we've selected with the help of chefs over the last 30 years. We're gonna take the tomatoes over to Chef Jamie. He's got something in mind, a great recipe. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do with them. But even more, I can't wait to see what you're gonna do with them. It's tomato time, baby!
In season now, tomatoes, we're here. And this season will carry us through probably, I want to say October. But green tomatoes is kind of on my mind right now. Not just like unripe green tomatoes, but also ripe green tomatoes. And I want to play into this, they're different animals. These are typically more like apples, in texture. They're really sour. Well, the ripe tomato can come in with just a beautiful texture, more like a, tomato, and more sugar, all these seeds. Look at that thing. That beautiful juice right there. It's just like the seed packet. I mean, that thing's just like packed full of flavor. So we'll build like a green tomato salad of sorts. We'll take a handful of these ripe and unripe green tomatoes. We'll cut them and build a nice little assortment of varieties of ripe and unripe green tomatoes. We're gonna serve that on a sauce of Aleppo pepper oil, some cultured cream, and green tomato juice seasoned with white soy. And then we'll garnish with some sweet potato leaf and green tomato chips. So yeah, we'll grab a few of these varieties, atomic grape, little cherries, currant tomatoes even, but all these nice little green varieties. Look at that, it's perfect. You bring it together, done. We want to just cut these in a variety of shapes. Let the tomato be the tomato, cut it however you want. Whatever shape it wants to be, kind of let it do that thing. It's fun. And that's what's fun about tomato salads is all the different shapes and varieties you can work in. For one dish of tomatoes, fine. We're just gonna season that with a little olive oil and some salt. And let those kind of hang out for a while while we do the rest of this thing. The green tomato juice we'll do next, and pretty straightforward. Taking green tomatoes and juice them. They can be hard. Again, look at that thing. It's like it's like an apple. Plenty, done. This guy, delicious, really bright, really clean. It's something you could do a fair amount with this. I mean, even working it into actual juices. We have fun, maybe Bloody Mary. Clear soy. This clear soy, we're gonna season the tomato juice with. Really just not trying to change the color of the juice. Clear soy is just clarified. It's just clarified soy sauce. Green tomato chips. Green tomato chips, they're a page like right out of the book. It's pretty straightforward though. And once you know it, you can do it with anything. So we take a green tomato, we'll just shave it on a mandolin. You want a firm tomato, but it doesn't have to be like a rock. That one's good too. You take a little bit of water and a little bit of starch. Potato starch is great. Corn starch is great. Make a slurry. With that slurry, we'll take our sliced green tomatoes and we're gonna compress them in this starched liquid. So we're just gonna wanna compress these. Basically what we're doing is we're pulling out some of that water, some of the air in these tomatoes. They're full of gas, as you can see in here as they're boiling. And we're gonna replace that with some starch. We're gonna then pre-gelatinize these tomatoes in the steamer here, and they're ready to dry, they're ready to fry, and you get this beautiful crispy chip. So when they come out, you know, they're a lot more like crispy, you know, and they've drunk or consumed a lot of water, obviously. But with that water they consume, they brought in starch, and that starch is gonna allow these, and now, don't get me wrong, green tomatoes do have starch. If you slice a bunch of green tomatoes and like, let's say you brine them like you're gonna make fried green tomatoes, bottom of that brine will have a layer of starch. So it does exist. It's just a small amount. And we want to increase that a little bit so that these get nice and crispy when we fry them. You cut a little thicker than a normal potato chip here too, because we are going to dehydrate them. And when we do that, they'll get really thin. There's a lot more water in these than there are in other root vegetables specifically. So we're gonna cut these, as you see, pretty thick. That's 2 little tomatoes, 25 pieces. You know, it's not bad. We're gonna steam these for about 30 seconds. Okay, so that was like 45 seconds. But what I'm looking for is that the tomato actually starts to relax a little bit, starts to fall. And then also another thing that's really important is that the tomato feels sticky, like a boiled potato almost. It should feel a little bit sticky. And what that is just that pre-gelatinized starch kind of doing exactly what it should be doing, grabbing water, and it's gonna hold it. We're gonna then dry this thing down. It'll maintain its structure nicely. It won't just like shrivel up like a raisin. And then we throw it in the fryer and they just get nice and glassy, clear. All these air pockets are gone. And it's just a different animal, but that's ready to dry. So I have some dried. And I dry them at like 105 degrees for like overnight. But I do it low temp because I want them to stay green. And if you cook them 150, 160, 170 degrees, they'll brown. We're gonna fry these at a low temp also. We wanna fry them at like, I don't know, like 260, somewhere in there, 250, 270, real low. I don't want any of those things to puff. It will puff, but there's, again, a lot of sugar in tomato, so it will brown. We're 260, or we're still pushing 270, 280. We're gonna let that cool down a little more. Here. And again, we're sitting at like 250. It's a really low temp. It's not really frying, but it's definitely gonna crystallize those starches. We have 280 degrees, 275, and like 250 We're gonna transfer this tray one more time just to get that excess oil off. We'll season them and call it a day. So we'll just start by spooning in some of that cultured cream. There's no rules. We'll follow with some of that green tomato juice. Again, no rules. We're gonna cover this thing. And we'll hit it with some of those, that Aleppo pepper oil. Not a ton, just, you know, a little bit. No rules. We're building just a base for a salad to land on. Salad comes in, we're just gonna cover across the surface of this plate, in keeping with the theme that, you know, tomatoes are fruits. I brought some more fruit to this dish. These are green peaches, and they're preserved in syrup. They're sweet, delicious. I love them. Like really fruity, weirdly fruity. It looks like olives, and I just want a few of them. And this would be like honestly, a really pleasant surprise in a tomato salad, is just a bite into one of these beautiful, sweet reminders that tomatoes are fruits too. Our tomatoes are seasoned. Our sauce is obviously seasoned. We're gonna finish with these green tomato chips. We're getting a little like more texture in here. I think a few of these sweet potato leaves, and call it a dish. Oh, maybe you can hear this. I mean, it's really cool to be able to take like an ingredient that has so much water in it, you know, and fry it, keep its natural shape, and like let it be crispy. It's a good thing. So those little green sweet potato leaves, that is our green tomato salad. Tomatoes in season now.